I'm up next, but now I'm singing the heartburn blues.
Hold on, Prilosec isn't for fast relief. Cue up Alka-Seltzer. It stops heartburn fast.
Oh, what a relief it is!
A breakthrough in battling autism? Why researchers and the medical community are hopeful. It's a must-see house call with Dr. Siegel and Samani, Sunday.
Well, we had new reporting this week about how 3 former members of a domestic terror group are all holding teaching jobs at prestigious universities across the country. Kathy Boudin, William Ayers, and Ayers' wife Bernadine Dorn are all now or were working at big-name colleges. And all are former members of the so-called Weather Underground. They call themselves a radical group. They're really domestic terrorists. They blew people up. They bombed buildings, including the U.S. Capitol, the Pentagon, and the armored car heist in New York State that left 3 law enforcement officers dead. But 3 universities thought, let's employ them. Then this morning, in a separate report, columnist George Will offered a scathing critique of what he called the propaganda that is being taught in our classrooms. And moments ago, we had on Benji, who's talking about being a first-hand witness to how he feels there is an indoctrination going on and a strong bias against certain points of view. Joining me now to discuss it all, Alan Combs. He's host of the Alan Combs Show, and Ben Ferguson, host of the Ben Ferguson Show. You know, maybe we shouldn't be surprised to see that, you know, Columbia University wants somebody like Kathy Boudin, who confesses to killing 3 law enforcement officers there to teach the students. But I don't know, in the wake of the grand scheme of things, is it just sort of another, you know, the latest development, Ben?
Well, I think you have a lot of liberals on college campuses that are, their whole life mission and goal is to teach extremism, to push their ideological viewpoint. They realize it's the greatest way to be able to change people's minds in one generation only. I mean, when I was at school, and this has nothing to do with my alma mater, which I love, but the one class that I almost failed in college was editorial and opinion writing. I got 2 F's in a row. Now, if there's any class that I should be able to pass, it would be editorial and opinion writing, except the problem was my liberal professor at the time did not like my opinion or my editorial content. And so I had to go and basically almost threaten to sue to get my grade changed and graded by someone else, because that's what a lot of kids are faced with now on campuses. You have extremists that if you don't write what they want you to write, or you disagree with them, they will punish you with your grades, and that's a tragedy, I think, for a part of life where you're supposed to be able to have a great debate of ideas.
You heard Benji's testimonial at 145, Alan, where he just talked about what's happened to him just for being an outspoken guy who favors Republican candidates. It's not the first time we've seen that. I mean, remember back in the run-up to the 2008 presidential election, and the little kids who were gathered by their teacher and told to chant about, well, here we have it.
1, 2, 3.
So there's a lot. I have a lot of those clips. There's at all ages. We can do middle school, we can do high school, we can do college. What do you want to do? Because there's a lot of this going on.
Yeah, those are the kids who elected Barack Obama. They did a great job at the polls. It's amazing to me that Ben became a conservative with all those liberal professors at Columbia. And let's make sure that all liberals are just like Kathy Boudin, right? They're all the same. One liberal is like every other liberal, and if Kathy Boudin killed a bunch of people and is teaching in a university, that means that all the teachers in the universities are all like Kathy Boudin, right? Let's put them all in the same boat.
No, what I'm saying is, Alan, is the fact that she can be accepted in academia, and the leadership at universities are not calling out these universities. Look at all the professors that just came out against a basketball coach, but you have a woman like this that does something like attack and kill people, and I can't find a professor to criticize her. That's the problem.
Why isn't she in jail?
She served her time.
Why isn't
she served 22 years.
Okay, so she did her time.
She served 22 years.
She did her time. Do you not believe that someone can do their time, pay their debt to society, and then go and be a productive member of society? Do you not believe in Christian redemption? If you pay your time, you do your time, you do what you are directed to do for the crime you committed, should you then be denied the right to re-enter society?
She killed 3 cops,
right,
2 cops and a law enforcement officer.
I'm not defending what she did.
Your kid? You want her teaching?
Not defending what she did.
Do you want your kids learning from Kathy Boudin anything?
It's very possible that if someone paid their time and did a crime, pays their time, pays their debt to society, maybe they've actually learned something that they have to impart to other people. I'm not defending Kathy Boudin and what she did. I'm pointing out that we believe in our criminal justice system. We believe that once you pay your debt to society, you have a right to move on.
There's no question she has a right to move on, but the question is whether she has a right to be hired by Columbia University, whether that's a good decision by a university that's one of the most prestigious in the country. Listen, I want to bring this broader. It's beyond Kathy Boudin.
It's beyond her.
Because the question is whether it's no accident that Columbia wants this confessed murderer, that Bernadine Dorn is hired by Northwestern, that Bill Ayers is hired by University of Illinois and honored by Minnesota State. There's a pattern of this in academia. If you look at, just this.
It's accepted.
That's what I'm trying to go for. That's what I'm trying to ask you.
Yeah, it's an accepted practice to have extremists be normal in academia, and you can find this at a lot of college campuses where there is absolutely no counterbalance. You are not going to find a lot of conservatives teaching these classes, but will forgive and forget a terrorist who kills 3 people, and academia will not even bat an eye at that. That's the problem.
Bill Ayers is retired now from teaching, as a matter of fact.
That's not the point.
Wait a minute. This is an old story. Bill Ayers, we went to this in 2008. This is
That's why I'm trying to move beyond Bill Ayers. I'm saying, look, these are 3 examples that have been in the news this week because of the revelation about Kathy Boudin.
If it's beyond Bill Ayers and beyond Kathy Boudin, they do not represent the political views of most people on political campuses.
But do you deny, on the broader point, separate and apart from these Weather Underground people, Alan, that there is a leftist bent in so much of the curriculum that's being taught to our students, and that there's a backlash for those who don't happen to agree with it?
I could make the argument that if you go to business schools, there's actually a right-wing bent. You could actually do a survey of business to say,
I'm talking about secondary school, middle school, high school, and colleges.
If I could actually have a word, if I could, I feel like I'm battling on all sides here. The fact of the matter is that if you can go to other schools and see where they're a conservative bent. You know, students get to take these classes and courses and what they major in electively. No one is forcing students to take
That's not true,
classes.
Alan. I was forced to take classes under professors as part of my degree that I were mandated to take. And when I was almost failed for editorial opinion writing because the professor did not like my opinion, I had no other choice of any other teacher to teach that class to graduate. So there's a lot of students that are being attacked and persecuted, and their views are being attacked, and they are failing classes over this.
Gotta run. Thank you both so much.
Thank you.
Coming up, a Fox News reporter under fire in a court for doing her job.
This program